Hatujaanza episode.
Chocolate tumeanza episode.
Episode tumeanza wapi?
Si tumeanza saa hii.
Haya basi tumeanza episode. Sasa tuko back.
We are back.
We are back from the special.
My wife will kill me for this introduction. She's always criticizing my introductions.
Exactly.
Unajua
kwa nini? Si unajua why you get killed. You do not introduce your co-hosts. Let me do the honors. This is Kalasinga.
And this is Vanilla.
And karibuni to this episode 9 of Gearhaus.
And you've not introduced them.
Si ungoje, ni shairi. Super serious, man. Anyway, we have two ladies kwa episodes. On that side, we have June. And on this side, we have Gakii.
And June is a Gearhaus drive addict.
Yes.
Ni kama cocaine.
Sana. She's been struggling to get off it, and I don't think it's going to get better. So, and Gakii, will you be a dad?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't mind traveling, but I'm not a big fan of driving. Like the way you guys are, honestly.
Everyone starts out.
We'll fly you there.
No worries. I can't be a passenger princess.
In a car that flies.
Yeah.
No one in this room has a fast car.
Anyway, karibuni, what's in the news? No news. This week has been having all manner of news.
Yeah, I found it to be a very stale week. I've not found any news this week.
This week is weird.
Anyway, but things have happened. I've seen Mercedes have launched an EV van supposed to compete with the, you know the VW called the VW ID bus. I don't know if you know the ID bus.
The bus with the
bus. So kama uliona Scooby-Doo. Uliona Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo, they used to have a car van. Kama ile nani. Ya ule chamati kuja hapa. Waroi.
Yes.
Now, eventually, they electrified it and then called it the VW ID bus.
So bus is bus.
Yeah. And that car looks pretty cool, actually. It's one of the best looking vans.
I would absolutely get one of those.
Yeah. So Mercedes has now made an equivalent version. So the V-Class, we know the V-Class. So they've made an electric version to compete with the ID bus.
So it's a small one. No, V-Class is big. So they have a small one. No, the thing with the ID bus, it's small and cute.
Why are you saying small and cute?
It's small and cute. But you want me to say what? It's not manly. It's small and cute.
Okay, what's small? You know a Sienta is a van.
Yeah.
Is a Sienta small and cute?
No, it's not cute. It's small. It's just.
An ID bus is the size of an Alphard. It's not small and cute.
No, it's not the size of an Alphard. It is smaller. Ni kama Maruti.
No. Wait, Dave, utake your boys ID bus hapo.
Sasa ataweka next na nini na hana.
Sasa kwa next, ukiona kwa hiyo episode ya next, tukikuja next episode, utasema, aya, sikuwa najua, nimejua sasa.
You're not being very focused.
Anyway, guys, don't take.
Anyway, VW is continuing to do ID things. They've renamed their smaller ID. Which other ID did they have? The Beetle.
It was an ID.
I think they have another ID, which they are now calling the Neo, like the new MacBook.
Oh, I want that new MacBook.
By VW.
Yeah, by
anyway,
VW.
this week has been very boring.
It's
It hasn't
very
been
boring.
much
in
the news.
But there's something I remembered just now.
What?
Do you like BMWs?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like BMWs?
Yeah.
So BMW M2, you know the M2?
Mm-hmm.
It's been rear-wheel drive this whole time. So if you wanted an X-Drive BMW 2 Series, you go for the M240i. So now BMW is hinting they're going to make an X-Drive BMW M2.
So a sane VW M2. It's sane in the
VW.
BMW
M2.
M2.
Yes.
The sane one.
But then you see, we already have seen... Bring her water.
What the oh,
Just coughing. So BMW M2, that's where we were.
Yes.
So the X-Drive. So BMWs, even with X-Drive, are known to be a bit snappy. You know, you see those...
That's what I'm saying. The M2, the normal one, is the terrible one. So this is the sane one.
Yeah.
Because at least X-Drive helps it
to stay straight a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as it usually happens, whenever they make a BMW M2 and then they like make it similar to the M4, the M4 sales are cannibalized. So people stop buying the M4.
The M4, yeah.
Because the M2 is the fun one. So like when they put the S55 engine on the M2, people kind of stopped buying the M4 and went for the M2.
Yes.
Now the M4 has had X-Drive for
the
period.
entire time. Yeah.
Now they've put the X-Drive system on the BMW M2. So
the sales are going down.
M4 sales will go down, M2 sales will spike.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think for a lot of people, they are very afraid of driving the normal M2 because it's very tail happy.
Yeah.
So put your foot and it wants to go this way.
That's fun. It's called having fun. Grow up. Yeah.
Anyway, anything else on the news? Yeah, don't be. Yes. There has been news. Lock on news, which leads us to the episode of today. Lock on news.
Flooding.
Actually, we start with flooding.
Yeah, NTSA.
No, we start even with flooding. People enjoyed being carried in their cars without having to drive them.
Yeah.
Actually, zinaitwa condolence. Zama ni gani yenye unasema kuambia watu pole.
Rambi.
Our rambirambis go to those ones who are affected. But then we are back in studio.
Yeah.
So guys ended up having boats for cars for one day in the week. Cars for boats.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it was crazy.
It was a crazy week. The rains were quite ridiculous. You know, I told someone we were not avoiding flooding. There's no way we're going to avoid flooding. If you see the stats by the Met Department, and you guys are scientists, there are women in science.
STEM.
Wanna clock it.
Here wanna clock it.
Put the clip of him saying it.
Clock it.
Why are you so feminine about it?
You cannot
clock it.
No men clock it. What is wrong with you?
Okay, so all right. Anyway,
as we lock in, we do not clock it.
You lock in. Yeah. Lock in.
Okay. Noted.
Anyway. So the floods. I mean, we were not going to avoid flooding. The rains were, I think, if you look at the statistics by Met Department, they were like 10 times. Like normally, I think they were saying 20 millimeters.
20 liters
20 per square meter is enough to cause like runoff. Yeah. Now, as we were getting, what is it, 100 liters per square meter?
We got 100 mm of rainfall, which is
in like 2 days.
In 2 days, which means it's 1 mtungi per square meter, which is a lot of water.
Yeah.
They actually said in some parts, it went all the way to 170.
Yeah, the dry parts of Narok, Turkana.
So flooding was not avoidable. You know, in as much as we wanted to, yes, we will bash wherever we bash, and we will keep doing it. But yeah, that rain was like a lot.
Yeah.
The rain was a lot.
I have a couple of friends whose garages had it rough. Sana.
Yes, even you're making money right now.
Wachana na money part.
Because of the
ni mechanic
hapa ndio wamepata do.
What money? This one is out there suing everybody. Anasu.
Sasa mechanic
insurance
ubeleta gari iko na flood. Anakuambia hii lazima tubadilishe exhaust.
Unabadilisha kila kitu hata iko affected.
Hata rim ilishika maji, lazima tubadilishe hizi rims. Alafu anaambia mtu hata bila kuangalia rim moja 100k ingi. Vanilla, you know you guys.
Mko rich.
We wish. We are swimming in money. Yes.
Anyway,
courtesy of the floods.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, there was that. And then this week they decided to throw us a flood of speed cameras.
Well, Mimi,
what are your thoughts?
Kuna thoughts at this point.
Okay. What
is just stopping. We are not even thinking anymore.
You guys.
Stopping to think, Ama?
As scientists.
What do you mean stopping? What do you mean?
As scientists. Hizi vitu mbona mnafanyanga hivi?
The speed cameras is a good idea because now that you've called a scientist, speed is kinetic energy, you know, energy in motion. So when you use the formula, kinetic energy is actually 0.5 mass times velocity squared. So the higher your speed,
Mteka zile diagrams za.
the higher your speed, the more energy that you're going to dispel in case of a crash. Because that energy is going to either be absorbed by the car or whatever you're going to hit. So the faster you are,
The more the
the
energy.
more the energy you're going to produce, because the energy is squared. So if it's 100, so you can imagine, let's say your car, it's how many kilograms?
50.
Let's say 1,000.
1,000 kilograms times
Your speed.
going at 100 kilometers per hour squared, divide by 2 because it's half of it. That's the amount of energy you're going to release either on the guardrail, which most Kenyans expect the guardrail to stop you, but it's a flexi beam. Above a certain speed, it will just warp. It won't deflect you back safely on the road. Or you'll hit the concrete barrier, which now that energy, because concrete is rigid, it will just blow back that energy on your vehicle. So if your vehicle is, some of the assist systems are not good, getting out of there alive is a problem. So even I've seen guys complaining about the speed limits on the expressway, which you are saying, the scientist, granted it's true because it's scientifically proven that the safest speed you can travel on especially an elevated road, it's 80.
It's 80.
80. So you push the government to wawajenge out of mwende mtest magari
Mwende
huko.
mdrive huko kabisa. But I have something I need to add on top of what
We'll add.
Hata before I add.
Alafu tutoe.
you see.
Oh,
A lot of the speed cameras that NTSA have put up are within what I can say urban type of the periphery of the urban center.
Yes.
So you're not really expected to be speeding in the first place because it's an urban. You shouldn't be driving at certain speeds because if you multiply that kinetic energy back to
A pedestrian,
back to a pedestrian, and
cyclist,
we don't have the best
motorcycle, NMT
facility. So people are everywhere. Everything is just everywhere. So let's just be honest. Nairobi ilikaa kila kitu iko tu kila mahali. We just survive, but somehow we survive. So if you're speeding on the expressway, which is something that is God forbid ever happens, and then you end up
going down.
ukiruka uende uko chini.
Ukienda wapi?
So you flips and then
Centrifugal
flips down.
force will
Tume chini.
Ikutume
Uende
chini.
Uende chini.
There are crashes that you're on this lane, but then it comes to your lane, like on the Southern Bypass,
Yeah.
and all that. Now imagine if you're on the expressway and then you end up going to the
Wangukie
ground.
msee uko
Yeah,
chini.
you now get down there just chilling in their traffic jam, akina sisi. Alafu nyinyi with your big cars, you just land on us. So I mean, the speed cameras are supposed to be.
No, it's not hypothetical because I agree with the policy. The problem is how it was implemented.
Implementation, yeah.
Because the first thing they should have done, even it's constitutional, like you do public participation. You get the lawyers on board, get the police on board, because a transport system exists with enforcement, education,
But there's a traffic act that
and
shows that.
legislation. Now, before you even they're not just supposed to be randomly placed. You see, like for us, we call them traffic crashes. They're not accidents because an accident is something without a cause.
Humps.
An accident is something without a cause, but road crashes, there has to be a cause. If you go to any police station and when we're doing road safety audits, you ask for the crash data. They'll give you the number of accidents that have happened, where it has happened, fatal or whatever. Now you tabulate that. As an engineer, now you take that data, you go there, the things they call black spots is where most accidents, most crashes occur. So now that is a very ripe area to put a camera. And I saw the same in Rwanda. If it's a very good section on a horizontal curve, Kenyans were used to overtaking on a continuous yellow line. But in Rwanda now, they know people will be tempted not to go at 60 at that section, but they've put the camera there. So if you overtake the camera on this side, because you're facing it, it will take your picture and send you your ticket. If you're on the other side, the other camera captures you. So if it was implemented that way, because personally I find it very punitive, because we're only governing personal cars as it is. It's only personal cars that are bearing the brunt of it. Because most matatus, let's be honest, they're not going above 60. There's no way they're going to be caught by that camera. And they're the ones who flout most rules. No, it's I was rear-ended just earlier this month by a matatu. So me, this is personal.
Anyway, before we even go very long, people are wondering, these women with strong opinions. You didn't introduce yourselves.
Oh, really? I thought we were done with that.
So, let us start again.
Oh, we're starting
Tunakuanga
again.
hivyo.
Oh, yeah. Okay, my name is Victoria Gakii. I'm an engineer. I'm a roads engineer by profession. And yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Karibu.
June, highways engineer, Gearhaus marshal.
Oh, yeah. Me, I'm new to Gearhaus. So.
And it is us. And we've gone back to the episode.
Back to the episode. And you see, they're real scientists.
Yes.
Yeah,
Before you start over here saying, according to engineers, they're engineers.
Yeah.
So let's get that out of the way. Hi.
Yeah.
So
So you were telling us about cameras in corners.
cameras, yeah, I'd say in Kenya we are still approaching the issues of road safety, because speed is an element of road safety. Mm-hmm. We're still approaching it from the traditional point of view, where all responsibility is directed to the road user. Like the road user is me.
At fault.
Who is at fault. But if you go towards the global way of thinking, of looking at road safety, there's something called Vision Zero. It focuses on something we call the safe systems approach, which is multimodal transport and land use planning, which is like the biggest problem we have in Nairobi. To put it into context, science again. There are around 5 to 5.3 million people in Nairobi who are carrying out their business in Nairobi, and 600 to 800 vehicles per day moving around Nairobi. So the infrastructure cannot keep up with the number of vehicles, and honestly, it will never keep up. And because of, remember the 5 million, most people are opting now to live far away from the city. What does that do to you? You have to buy a vehicle so that you can come, conduct your business in the city and go back home. But that is not how it's supposed to be. If you take statistics, one lane of personal vehicles, currently it can only accommodate like 2,000 vehicles per hour. But if you have what they're trying to implement, the BRT, it is like 10,000 to 20,000 vehicles in the same 1 hour. People.
Image.
Yeah.
That image for the cars.
So
the image for it.
If multimodal transport is basically, if you're conducting your business between CBD, Westlands, Athi River, it's like a 40 to 50 kilometer radius, which is very comfortable for cyclists, walking, scooters, anything that is not a vehicle. You actually do not need a vehicle. But because of the public transport, which is private, because it's public, but it's privately owned, people would rather, it's not reliable. So you'd rather, heri ninyeshe yo kwa vits yangu, kuliko ninge kwa hiyo matatu.
I personally commute, 1.5 kilometers in the morning
vehicle.
in a vehicle, and 1.5 kilometers in the evening.
Which is also adding up to the problem of also health. If we were walking and cycling, but the reason I myself know how to ride a bicycle, but I would never ride a bicycle in Nairobi because of how people drive. And there's the facilities, they are not adequate.
I was going, you see, I am healthier driving than cycling.
Because you can...
Because the risk of death is low.
Yeah,
If I cycle, I'll get hit by a matatu, and then I'll be unhealthy.
But you know that's the reality. That's the reality for middle class. That's the reality for middle class. But the lower class, which I have now come to interact with in environments of industrial area, people actually walk a lot. They walk, they use bicycles, and now the transport system should be able to accommodate the multimodal is different modes of transport and land use planning. If an area is segregated for business, let it just be for business. Not, I have my personal house here and then
Office
I
block.
have almost KICC level office block next to me. Like, we should, if you go to, I used to do this in my spare time. Don't call me a nerd. I used to go and read the
Nerd.
master plan of Nairobi. It's available in City Hall and just pay 50 bob in archives and go and read. If it was actually implemented that way, we wouldn't have this chaos. But next time, vote better.
Hata sina kitu ya kuongeza.
Gakii.
Yeah. Amesema kila kitu. Like, yeah, we're done.
Swali sasa ziko.
Yeah.
Now, in this whole multimodal, we are learning new terms. Multimodal.
Many modes.
Many
Many
modes of
modes.
transport.
Yes, I think that's the better one. In these many modes of transport, kuna wenye wanatumia Uber, kuna wa mguu, kuna wa baiskeli, kuna wa mkokoteni. Wa mkokoteni
Dozi.
anafaa kuwa wapi by the way?
NMT, non-motorized traffic,
Non-motorized.
because they do not have a motor.
So asikumane na mtu wa baiskeli.
Afe iko kwa lami.
He is supposed to. The road, this is another problem with Kenyans. You find a goat on the road, inafanya nini hapo?
Kwani
Roads are for
Even
transporting
animals
goods
have
and
rights to be on
people.
the road,
They
yeah?
have
Yeah,
rights.
kupita.
That's
No,
why
the animals can't
when
use
we
the
were
road.
doing the Gearhaus
road?
trip to the north,
Really road.
you are seeing camels, you are seeing signs of animal crossing because now you're in their environment.
exactly crossing itoke hapa iende pale iachane
But
na
haina
barabara.
akili kama wewe. Wewe ndio uko na
Kwa nini
akili.
uko na wanyama wajinga?
Usimame.
Nani alikwambia kona akili? You make serious assumptions.
She's an engineer, so she's correct. Unlike you.
They're assuming he has an akili.
Don't make assumptions.
Anyway, yeah.
So-
yeah.
As engineers, you know all these things. How comes when you're doing roads, you do not go ahead and create, because you look at some of the roads and you're left wondering, okay, I understand that I'm supposed to share the road, say, with a bicycle. Like, where did I see that? Yesterday, I was in one of the smaller roads. But then there is these guys who do Uber delivery with their two bicycles. He's right over here. I have to squeeze traffic to the other side so that I can pass the guy. Because if I try to get too close, he'll end up on Taro.
You'll hurt him, yeah.
So you're like, you guys know this, but yet when the roads are being designed, it ends up being that it's just for me as a driver. No one is taking care of them, because I believe most of the accidents, and we've seen this especially on social media, where all these cyclists who end up riding on the side of the superhighway, you know, kuko wakirusha mikono, which sometimes I find to be very chaotic, because seriously, I do not know what you're doing there. There's not enough space for vehicles, leave alone you guys. So how comes you guys don't actually take that into mind? Is it budget? Ama ni kusema tuchana na watu wa baiskeli? Or like what goes into the whole thought process?
So I think there are a number of things we can consider when it comes to this. In urban areas, first of all, there's the constraint of land or space. One.
There's
some roads like the highways that cut across Nairobi, which are like 3? Like they're not that many. Those ones, they have proper spacing.
Reserves.
But if you go to the urban roads, the road reserves are actually kind of narrow. I agree there has been a lapse in the design of NMT facilities. Actually, what I can say is that it's more of can I call it recent if it's been 10 years ago? It's just now started that people are now paying more attention to non-motorized traffic, bicycle lanes, and footpaths. Because in the past, before when roads were done with the ministry, that wasn't a thing. Hakukuwa na hizi shida. People never used to think that it would be an issue. But now that we've urbanized so fast, now we can see that there's a problem. So you will find that there are certain places that those designs, actually all designs now must accommodate NMT. The new roads should have. The older ones, you might find they don't, but you'll try and see somewhere someone is trying to add something huko badai. It's a process. It's It's an ongoing process.
Can do these be NMTs on some days? Because
These are motorized.
They're motorized.
Yeah.
no, that's what I'm saying on some days. Because
And
Yeah,
even
as
Nduthi,
long
you
as
can
it has
never
a motor.
convince a Nduthi guy to ride on a cycle track, by the way.
You
You can
can't.
never convince him. If you
Actually,
wana feeling wanafaa kwa hiyo barabara.
no, that's my
Na
problem.
wewe.
Because they end up you're over there being healthy, unlike him, you're walking, and then the guy is deciding that
But you know, yeah, that's
this is where I'm supposed to.
with the guy who will come and regulate Nduthis in Kenya.
Another
is going to make my
element
vote.
of the safe systems approach, safe vehicles. Now, in this context, even do these are vehicles, because for them to be considered safe, what personally says ipana boda boda in Kenya, the way they are, first how they are driven, and the safety, just lacking a helmet is a problem. The guy himself, no reflection. You look at the condition of the bike, you don't even know whether it has ever been serviced.
The guy has a
Unaona,
license.
like sometimes even us as road users, we enable this culture of
Kuna bikes zio ka venye ube amekaa.
and also enforcement can come up, actually can be incorporated here because our neighbors have done it. TZ, all tuk-tuks are electric, one to reduce the carbon print and the noise. I don't know if you've ever been around where tuk-tuks are many, like in Mombasa. They sound
I
like
was
a
there
hive
recently.
of bees.
There's some electric ones in Mombasa, actually.
Yeah,
They're coming
but you see now for Tanzania, it's compulsory, all of them to
The
be
new ones,
electric.
yeah.
And then in Chigali now, they have heavy subsidies for electric bikes, electric motorcycles, as opposed to the petroleum
Anasema
ones.
Kigali.
It's okay.
And then that guy will not start the ride until your helmet is on. It fascinated me quite, and they can't carry more than one person. So when it comes to enforcement, where you guys come in now, because you're part of the enforcement, the police, the lawyers, everyone, the system needs to be free of human error. Let's say that's what we are trying to attempt with the cameras, so that you minimize the corruption. Because once you're given, if it applies also to the motorbikes, if he runs a traffic light and he's captured, the point of the cameras and these things is to change behavior, not just punitive fines and collecting money. It's to change your behavior. You know, when I'm in town, maximum speed 50, because there are other people crossing. It's densely populated. Children, because children don't know how to cross the road. They can't tell how quick you're coming as a vehicle or how quick the bike is coming, so they end up being knocked. Also, the crash tests reveal, recently it's only Volvo, I think, that has implemented crash tests using women. Most of the crash tests are actually done with men, so they don't even take into account how our anatomy is. The way my body will react in a road crash is not the same way your body will react.
So a car can be safer. A Volvo can be better it's a better car to hit a woman with.
No, it's a better for me to crash, me as the driver, for me to be crashed in it.
That was smart.
Not pedestrian.
It's not very smart.
It's only recent now that even Honda and other brands are
But
coming
also
up
test on
with
pedestrians.
They do test on pedestrians, but most safe vehicles, again, Kenyan's vehicles are they are not maintained.
Around that issue.
Wacha nimalize point yangu. Sikumaliza about the nini. Nilisema space, time and budgetary constraints.
The inch walisema we have money. Anyway. Leave that aside.
Niko na swali inafuata hapo. Because you talked about enforcement. I'm going to ask you a question. As an engineer, is it possible to engineer roads in a manner that they are idiot-proof? So basically, like, it's impossible for a boda to use a sidewalk, right?
It is. It's possible.
It's possible.
It will
But
cost
it's
you
possible
more.
to
It will
engineer.
cost you more.
But I think that's why we need to go as a country, because if you ask me, I do not think Kenyans have the mental
Willingness.
capacity to be able to follow rules. For instance, today I was at a set of traffic lights on Ring Road. Nimesimama vizuri sana. It's red. Iko na timer. Inaanza 50 seconds. It's going down. I see boda guy comes Peters. Boda guy comes Peters. Nganya comes Peters. Mimi pekee nimesimama. an engineer has put a traffic light, it's telling you stop. So I started thinking to myself, we need to make it impossible to cross. So kama ni light iko red, bari itokeleze. Ama namna gani tunawekewa?
Or the camera is there. When you run the traffic light, it sends you a ticket.
Now, bodas don't have plates at the front. How are you going to capture which
The
boda?
cameras can
The cameras,
capture the front to the back.
Yeah.
Or the front and the back?
Yeah, they capture front and back. The problem would be now if the boda is rented or such concerns.
No, the person who will get it is the owner of the
owner
boda.
of the
one who's
boda.
registered.
So they're the ones who will fuata mwenye alikuwa anaendesha.
Actually, I want to follow his question. And this is purely around speed and why it's been feeling punitive for a lot of us. So, in as much as we import 7-year-old cars, most of them, 7 years is still quite modern. Most of the tech is there. Even on the most basic cars, unapata hata when you were in that car Alto, it has lane detection and all those things. So even on the most basic of cars, they are fairly safe when you compare them with older cars. But it seems the design on roads has not kept up with that. So you find, and I'm speaking from a very layman perspective, the roads that we have, somehow you have to enforce those very low speed limits because then they do not meet. If guys drive on them as fast, then they'll end up being in more problems because of how the road is designed. And an example is, the previous episodes, I think there's a time when I was saying, you're driving from Limuru and, closer to the, what's it called? Sigona area. You have a lane that just goes and decides, Mimi, hapa ndio nimeisha. I'm not continuing past this point. So you're over there, you've been maintaining your, even say 80, and suddenly there's no road there. Or even just outer ring itself. Lanes suddenly sprout out of nowhere and then they end abruptly. And you're like, even if I'm supposed to keep 80, this road is mad. Like, who would sat down and decided that this was actually a safe road to be driving on? The other thing which I've only seen enforced, or rather designed on the expressway, is those collapsible barriers, especially where the road junctions, so that they can, take up the like in an event of a collision, then at least they can absorb some of the energy. Pale Modaiga, you hit the middle part, that is you going up.
Yeah, you're done.
There's nothing else that can be done for you. So some of those things, to me, they seem like very simple things that should be there on our roads, but yet somehow the engineers decide you will deal with the road. You'll die as men, all of you. Like, we do not care here. And then ya mwisho, mimi nazieka one by one zikiwa mingi.
Ni nyingi.
It's now one which Babs was talking about, idiot-proofing our roads. Because I was just looking at stats on the Autobahn. Because everyone was talking about Autobahn. Autobahn, hata watu enda and people don't die. And the biggest issue was what they were calling speed differential. Basically, the difference between the fastest car and the slowest car on that road and how much it affects. Because that is what really affects how bad a collision becomes. So you find, like on the Autobahn, it has recommended speed, and then they have the maximum speed advisory, and they have a minimum. So the minimum, I think, is 60 kilometers an hour. The recommended, I think, is 110 or something. And then there is the maximum, which they tell you can keep this, but if you want to go faster, that's up to you, which is 130. And a lot of roads in Europe actually have the 130 speed limit. Huku, on the fast lane, ile apale, where you're supposed to be able to keep 110, is where I find every truck doing 30 kph. And then, if I decide to keep the middle one, there's Anduthi guy who has just decided, nimeona mtu ile side, wacha nikata hivi. So now this guy is doing 20 and he's trying to weave. So I was doing 100. So my speed differential between these guys is 80 kilometers an hour. So I have to brake harder. I have to swerve dangerously into traffic. A lot of times you end up either getting rear-ended, ama uingia watu tu vibaya, and guys are like, abu muangalia vile anaendesha. And it's really not you. It's them. Hapa is one of those ones. Sio mimi, ni wewe uko na shida. So these are all issues which I think are to do with road design. Like, and this is for both of you. How do you deal with all these issues to make our roads safe?
Mimi ningesema niko na suggestion mkijibu. Si mtu akaange kwa barabara ukiona mtu anafanya 20 kwa hii lane mnampiga ngoto.
Like ile high patrol. Jamaa kwa hapo tu.
Piga ngoto toa gari yako hapo.
That's where it comes to now.
Driver behavior.
Enforcement, driver behavior. And what you were talking about with people not wanting to change or just do good things. Basically, like you see, you can have a really, really, really nice road in Kenya. But then just Kenyans, honestly, PSC, we have ourselves to blame for some of these behaviors, to be honest. And unfortunately, we don't have proper enforcement. At least maybe NTSA with the cameras, they may be trying to do it. We don't have proper enforcement to try and change all these poor behaviors. Sasa now, kama kuna mtu kwa the fastest lane and a drive at 50.
Simshike hiyo kabla mshike
ni enforcement sasa. Hapo ndio nasema enforcement.
So it's possible for the enforcers, that is NTSA, to, when they are putting up their cameras, they see this guy is doing 50 kilometers per hour
on the wrong lane.
On the inner lane.
It's obstruction.
So they can actually send him a ticket.
They should.
So they focus on that. Because to me,
ideally, you have, before you get to Safari Park, you're allowed to do 110 huko. But I can't even do 110 safely.
Even Thika Road, can you do 110 anymore with the traffic? No. Just think about it.
But then nikifanya 81 wananishika. Niko huko tu nimeshapigwa passport. So the problem really, so again, on road design, like apart from now the whole enforcement angle, how will it affect design of the road so that the roads that we have, zikuwe safer roads, that thing of crash barriers, so that I don't have to hit the middle part, Pale, Moranga Road, Forest Road, and it's just a solid wall. And then on the exclusive road, that is where you're putting those nice crash barriers. So it means you can. Lakini huku chini kwa wananchi.
Hiyo barabara exclusive ilisemekana si ya serikali yetu.
O si yetu.
Si yetu. Hiyo ni iko na mwenyewe. It's a private road. That's why you pay to use it.
Oh.
But it's true. It's a private road.
It's a private road.
You pay to use it. That's why they're able to maintain it. That's why they even plant flowers.
It's called build, operate, transfer. So they build, they're operating, they'll transfer once the money is back.
Sasa barabara za Kenya, mtatuwekea hizo vitu tumeona huko kwa wenyewe.
I think you have a point. There's a collapse somewhere.
There's a lapse mostly on, we do acknowledge, the way she's saying, these issues of road safety, they've started coming at us more recently because of now more vehicles, urbanization. Yeah. There are not as many vehicles, kitambo. Now there are even now roads, because we can acknowledge as Kenya we've come from far. We have some pretty good infrastructure. We just need to take care of it more. But now the issue of roads, we do have.
What?
Most of them are good.
No,
so, now
it can be better.
Being vigilant. No, even the public needs to assist when they see people vandalizing some of these signs.
Oh yeah, vandalism is a
problem. Encroachment into the road reserve is a big problem because we've built a nice walkway. And now what boda bodas are supposed to use with the cyclists. But there's a whole kiosk on top of it. So you find the pedestrians who are supposed to be used and the cyclists, that's why they're on the highway. Because when they go that side,
there's no road.
They're doing like this with somebody's tomatoes on the road. But when they're told to move, they don't want to. And we have to coexist. Unfortunately, this is our reality as Kenya. So, but there's a way they can be accommodated into the reserve that is a safe place for even you as a motorist, because also part of safety is not distracting the driver. That's why there was a huge uproar on the number of billboards coming up, because your attention is diverted. Most Kenyans use their phones while driving. So there's your phone, you're here, and then there's advert. And then the wife is like, si mama tununue viazi. Because ameziona.
So
you see, yeah?
So the feature. I approve that message.
They go somewhere where it's safer. because we are not getting out of it. Like you've had the population of Nairobi, and we are not
And
all
it's increasing.
employed by corporate jobs. So most of Nairobians are working those informal jobs, kiosk, nini. But so you can't kick them out completely, but you can find a place for them to accommodate them. Because Kenyans will still buy. People come from their houses, they go all the way to Sarit, Carrefour iko which floor, ataenda anunue nyanya zake hapo. So it is possible. So if you designate areas for markets, get them off a safe distance off the road, because also the purpose of the road reserve is for that, so that drivers can rest. Highways are designed, roads are designed for mobility and access. Access is for urban areas and za kuenda kwako kwa estate. But a highway is for mobility.
Purely, yeah.
So the more you're slowing down traffic, the more the level of service is going down. Level of service is the usability of the road.
I really
agree.
I agree with you. And I have a very strong opinion on this.
Yeah.
And it may sound elitist. I am so sorry. If you want to cook me on social media, please go ahead. I don't care. Privatizing roads is the way to go.
Privatizing roads?
No.
Yes.
No,
Like the
there
expressway.
No, we don't need to cook. You just need to throw you out. You're not saying
there are certain things.
If let me make my point.
tutumie hiyo barabara ya juu
Let me
kama
make my
huku chini.
point. When Thika Road came, was built rather by Kibaki, may he rest in peace. People used to come from the rest of Africa to see this highway called Thika Road. They were like, hey, barabara noma, kuna barabara kai Africa. Is it 15, 20 years? That road is a shell of its former self. I can guarantee the expressway will not change for the next 10 to 15 years. In fact, even as we speak right now, the bottlenecks that have been discovered on the expressway are being resolved. Thika Road, what they do, siku moja unapata lanes zimemarkiwa hivi. After 5 years, they decide we're going to change this. The lanes zasongeshwa hivi kidogo, hivi. Then one day someone comes and puts a red line, the whole of Thika Road, alafu inatolewa. So I feel like as a country, we are unable to maintain public infrastructure.
But
to a great extent.
That's kind of the way that the current government is
Exactly.
going with the new highways.
It's actually...
But I don't approve any.
You don't even
agree with
personally. I'd rather pay...
Why are you paying taxes?
There are certain things you can't privatize. Healthcare, education,
movement. Deal na hiyo
water
baadaye.
and sewerage
VAT.
and roads. You can't privatize them.
Then what's
the essence of paying the taxes?
I think my big problem is with engineers, because kasa hizi lanes za utaring zilienda wapi? Mbona mtu amekula tu hapo?
Let me tell you, I
Then
don't
mnaitolea pale mbele sasa.
Some of these things zinakuanga like maybe someone planned something 20 years ago and then when they're implementing it now, so
It doesn't work. Things have worked. Like for example, Thika Road. Okay, the road you're discussing now. Do you know when the designs were done? Rironi, Mau Summit. Or even just this Kenol Sagana Marwa. Those designs were done 15 years ago. When it comes to implementing,
there are
so many changes which translate to money and...
but largely you guys did Thika Road the right way.
No, but it has already exceeded its design life. We designed roads for 20-year life. So it has already reached the capacity.
Meaning
bridges are designed for 100 years, roads are designed for 20 years.
Meaning after 20 years, the road should be reviewed.
It's supposed to be improved, yes, and reviewed.
Yeah. So whoever designed Outer Ring, I'm still on Outer Ring, designed it with disappearing lanes. You know, I never get that. To me, that's one of the craziest roads.
That was not the idea.
That may not have been the issue that time when it was being designed, but when they got to building, then things... You also forget, I don't know, it's a blessing and a curse when
at the same time.
When there's a BRT coming on.
Yeah, on Outer Ring.
That's the other one.
I don't know if it's going to formally materialize. I saw it on the news.
Vanilla, it's a good thing and a bad thing, what I'm about to say.
Let's see if it will
It's a good thing and a bad thing, what I'm about to say. That roads and politics coexist. They don't exist separately. It's a good thing and a bad thing. If you have the right leadership, infrastructure thrives.
Yeah.
If you have the wrong leadership.
Lanes disappear.
Infrastructure doesn't necessarily operate.
Yeah, because let's just be honest. In Kenya, yes, we have the data because engineers don't just build roads. There's data. We do traffic counts, feasibility studies. So one road in a certain area might be should have been constructed than another road in a certain area. But because of politics, this one is built, this one is left out. It's a good thing and a bad thing because unfortunately in the current constitution, it's a lobbying constitution. If the person you've put there to represent you is not loud enough to lobby for your interests, you'll never get development. That is what is in the current constitution. Because they're supposed to lobby, then now when it comes to our table, we say, fine, we are doing the roads. We hold our public participations. Do Kenyans appear?
Just get old people.
There was one in Nyeri. I remember you calling me. And you're like, my mom has come from a meeting. What is this about? You who's in Nairobi. Sisi tumetoka Nairobi tumeenda Nyeri. Sensitization. Now
where I live, there are so many apartments coming up. There are like 29 floors, 30 floors, everywhere. I've only ever gone for one public participation meeting.
Yeah.
Out of all
And
the
you know,
apartments.
for all those needs for like change of user,
Yeah,
you
have
to hold.
You have to. So someone comes and demonstrates that a hotel has come up in a residential area.
A petrol station.
Then, or a petrol station. The petrol station produces the minutes. I held a sensitization. The locals were okay with it. So why are you complaining?
And can I say what normally happens?
People don't go.
Aside from going, the ones who go are paid by the developer to not oppose the project.
Then you who has not been paid, go and peana maoni. Because this is the problem I actually have with the middle class and the youth that is coming up. As long as something does not affect me and my funds and my comfort, I don't care. But unfortunately, from recent events, you're seeing everything is now boiling down to you. It will reach
now
you.
See your house
no
is
matter.
flooded.
Or those 29 floors, where are they going to get
Your
water?
house is flooded.
Napjam. Assume everyone in that household has 2 vehicles.
Fifth floor.
No. You're around people who have 29 floors.
I get it,
Assume
You're
every
right.
apartment. What is the sewerage system around that area?
I agree.
The roads. So you should be concerned about. That's why people say Gen Z, but they're actually doing the right thing. Millennials, we need to wake up.
Public participation meetings.
Go for a baraza. Actually, tafuta chief wako umwambie.
Mimi ndio chief hapa. Look at me, I'm the chief now. Public participation meeting. Kuna swali mumuuliza hao engineers.
Kanyo. Oh yeah, road design.
Yes.
Humps.
Now that is how politics shows up on roads. It comes as bumps named humps.
No, actually humps. What has been
Hata before you answer it.
Kulikuwa na hiyo issue ya design ya bumps, humps.
design.
Mnakuanga na formula?
There is. Actually, there are standards.
Yeah.
You know, it's because Kenyans think of a road. If they see a road, they assume they are all the same. You know, there is a highway, there's a rural road, and an urban road. The design of the bump on the highway is not the same as the design of the hump on an urban road and the design on a rural road because the speeds differ. So the hump on the highway should be a bit gentle because the speeds are quite higher. But in an urban, because I've seen even this behavior, when you're going home, people are driving in estate roads like they're on the highway.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You're not on a highway, please. That road is meant for access. It has people, it has children, it has everyone. Mukokoteni, baiskeli, which is most roads in Nairobi. If you want to drive that comfortably, enda Kenyan Sagana Maro, utaona hizo bumps zenye una glide at 60 or 40.
Za kwanza 5 and then hizo vingine wakasahau.
So really, there's actually there's a manual for those the bumps, the design.
Tuweke hapa kwa hii podcast.
Iko online. You just download from KRB website.
It's a public document.
But then,
So you don't share it?
Okay,
No, we do follow. The problem might be the capacity of the local contractors to execute the design, which can be corrected because, as you've seen, most of them are being removed and being corrected. And also, most of the road safety in Kenya had been delegated to bumps, which is wrong. Which is very wrong. Not everywhere deserves a bump. because bumps, they like I said, they reduce the level of service of the road. Can you imagine?
Kwanza highways.
Yeah, highway. Someone has come from Mombasa, is going to DRC. Ako busy tu. Akiruka. Huyo mtu atafika lini? And
Highways.
fatigue.
On urban roads, I agree.
On urban roads, you're not going anywhere.
You don't need to be speeding at
not
all.
to be speeding
in Nairobi.
Eka bumps.
Like just
Eka bumps. Because there are hospitals, there are schools. Yeah, but on the
I will
highways,
not live with that because now when they're not doing bumps, they are doing mini mounds. Those two things.
Rubble strips are too thick.
there are some that are too thick. Even me, my suspension, I feel it.
Yeah, they're not
but those are things that can, there are standards. Should be 15 centimeters.
Yes.
See, we remove the
15
document
centimeters
online
for
and share
urban
with
roads,
contractors.
10 centimeters on highway.
Sisi tutaona
10 centimeters on highway.
Moja, 15 centimeters.
On urban roads. No, the rumble strip.
15 centimeters.
Ruler kale kadogo.
15 you wenda wapi?
height.
Height. But you know, it's a sphere. It's not a semicircle.
And it's not it's a radius.
It's a radius.
Kubwa.
2/3 ile formula. Ulisha discard kila kitu.
Watu waliacha na
Waliacha mathematics. Akasema ni sisi tunafanya mathematics pekee.
Formula ya
area of a sphere.
Formula ni gani?
2/3 pi r
squared, I think something like that.
h.
He's a lawyer. You need to understand that.
Women in science.
Mimi hutumia internet sana, but they're there.
So you're saying all these things have standards?
They do have
There's
standards.
nothing in
There's
the road
nothing
sector
that just
have a
appears.
standard.
Everything,
standards are in Kenya.
everything has a standard because
Sasa mbona contractor hananga standard?
wanahitaji capacity building.
Mimi nilikuwa naenda kumjibu hivi.
Capacity building.
The leaders own the contractors.
The politics.
Some of them.
The politics.
Public participation is very
When you find
difficult.
out contractors wengi ni nani?
Yeah.
Nakupea
But
homework.
it's true. It's kind of true.
So you see, what I was saying, it's a good thing and a bad thing. Roads and politics, pamoja.
Yeah. It's
Because like,
but there was
think about the section between Barnabas, pale Nakuru, and that Nakuru section. Beautiful humps. Hizi zingine zote.
Barnabas.
but me hata.
Ni wali kumedual.
Where the dual starts.
Yes, unaona hizo una gliding tu.
Yeah, those are humps. Hizi zetu ni bumps. Muhimu. Angalia Wayakiwe hapa Kangemi huko.
Let me tell you.
You know, if I'm going to Kikuyu, I'll prefer niingilie James Gishuru. Nizunguke hivi nitokee huko mbele. Because those things
But you see,
insane.
hapo hiyo barabara ya Wayakiwe may have a theory. May be wrong though.
Sema.
You see, that already it's a highway. That road is a highway.
It's a highway.
It has been under construction for a long time, but that's a different story altogether. However, the market is literally on the road. Now, do you remember that time there was this accident in
Salga.
It was Salga that hit the market people on the one that were on the. It was Londiani.
Londiani.
Yeah, the trailer hit the guys who were selling their wares on the highway. You see now, the solution there is not to have a hump or a bump, whatever you want to call it. It's really to remove those people.
That's what I wanted to say. I wanted to take Kalasinga's
once they
mindset.
they were removed. They were removed by the county and the NTSA guys, and I think Kenya as well. Those guys were removed at Londiani, and if you go back there, they're back.
They're back.
I'm back.
So Wayakiwe, same thing. There's a market on the road.
That's why I keep
So now,
that's why I keep on saying we need to
Watu wakufe
out-engineer.
ama?
No, we need to out-engineer Kenyans' thinking. So
Do what?
we need to spend money on it. Kama ni soko, barabara, mweke gates.
You are saying that. You saw the Ngara section. The Ngara section, they put the barrier.
Ngara section.
Where people cross katikati.
See where people cross.
yeah.
There's a footbridge. They put the barrier.
Watu kata.
Wanapanuanga hapo katikati. You've seen even on Western Bypass.
No, that was baadaye. That is when they figured out we can pull these things.
And use them.
So, guys started jumping over.
No.
Hadi wa mama wazima, wako huko wakiruka that thing, which is, I don't know, like 4 feet tall. Wakaekewa razor wire. Wakakata razor wire.
That's what I'm saying. It's a
Sasa
behavioral
ndio
problem.
wakaona
It's a behavior.
ina
It's a behavior problem.
That's why I'm of the very strong opinion that we can't change Kenyans' behaviors.
You can.
You can't.
You can't. You can. It's enforcement. You can.
Weke kamera hapo.
Yes.
I think the most punitive way maybe is just through money.
Money.
Because now
Kenyans
even those
value their
barriers,
money.
those barriers usually they're put as an afterthought most times, and they cost money.
So let that money
So your pesa, where lipa.
Because you're costing us money that could have been used for nice
road.
crash barriers on the highway.
So tuzitoe, alafu tulipishe hao watu. I like your thing.
No, market itoke.
Market waende.
Okay.
So when there's an actual market.
Where there's a market,
An actual market
a
constructed
safe place, so that people are
have
not
parking
stopping.
and all.
But we have said they are going back.
Parking. No, but
Now
you see
enforce
now,
them to not go back.
Enforcing them not to
yeah.
go back. You see, the Githurai has been cleared. The bus park is going there, so they'll have no chance to come back.
Yeah, but unless people are
So if the bus park does not come up quickly enough, be sure
But I always feel like even enforcement in this country always goes for the, what do you call it, the lowest hanging fruit. And that is why right now NTSA is spending billions putting cameras za kushika watu just to make more billions instead of them actually enforcing all the problems around those roads and highways, where you have matatus that are stopping right in the middle of the entire highway. You have those Ndudhis that decide I'm going to cross the road, which actually will have more value, more than even the speeding guy. Because you even think about it, a lot of people, I think you've been on our road trips, you find there's a huge bunch of people who prefer to stay back and drive at 60 and just enjoy. Because a lot of people don't even like going that fast anyway. You go fast because you've been held back by traffic and now suddenly there's an open space and you say, I need to recover some of the time. So if the enforcement is done such that traffic flows nicely, the way it's supposed to be, I think that is more rewarding long term. And they'll still make the money. I mean, they'll fine all these guys. Just keep fining. That instant fine, wazungukange tu na hiyo basi, wewe unasimama, unapigwa instant yako, unashika mtu andudhia.
I'm curious, have people paid and does it work?
No, I saw like they
It stopped today.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So there was the guys who tried yesterday, as we were recording on 12th, so 11th.
Yeah.
The guys who tried on 11th,
To stop the enforcement.
the implementation of that system. They were not successful. The court did not grant orders. But then today, Justice Bahati Mwamuye
Akatupatia
What
bahati.
was the
Bahati.
reason to stop it?
So, of course, there are various reasons guys are trying to stop it. Number one is there's no statutory framework to govern this whole speed cameras thing. It's like it's operating in a vacuum. So, for instance, if let's say they put a camera on James Kishuru, right, and it's 50 kph, I believe, ideally they should have a sign somewhere on James Kishuru telling you it's 50 kilometers per
And
hour.
that there's a camera.
And perhaps there's a camera if they're generous enough.
No, it should be there.
Should have a sign for the camera,
Yeah, it should be there. If there's people are going to pay fines through, like it comes to your phone, you click on a link, it takes you to your M-Pesa,
Should be
pay.
the option to decline.
To decline or to
Yeah, and
say
go to
you're
court.
challenging. I don't agree. It should be something like you say, I disagree with this. It creates like a file in court, and you're told come to court on this day and have the case heard or something. It should be there.
The other one is who is collecting money. NTSA should not be collecting fines. Fines are supposed to be collected by the court. But that's
For me, that's neither here nor there. I mean, I think ideally, NTSA should have the power to fine people, but there should be a legal framework within which that works. There's no problem if they fine people. Let it just have a system where it works.
and it's at the end of the day, it's also discriminatory. When Nairobi is the only place what
Not even Nairobi only.
Okay, hiyo sasa tunaweza sema tu ni pilot.
Ni pilot, wanaanza Nairobi hata na disagree na wewe hapo.
Ni pilot tu.
no wonder public participation fails.
I agree with him. It's biased because it's only going to be punitive for the private vehicles. What is there currently now?
What I agree with you to that extent, that focusing on speeding alone is very discriminatory. If I was working for NTSA, the first place I would actually put cameras are traffic lights. That low-hanging fruits. Make sure guys are stopping at traffic lights and junctions where there's a stop sign. Those two. Then roll out to speeding and other things baadaye. But sasa ile keeping left.
Correct me if I'm...
Yeah, hapo hiyo ni ubanga. We shouldn't have to checkers si lazima. Like checkers for guys who don't checkers ile weave kwa traffic. You shouldn't have to play checkers.
Actually, in most places, weaving is illegal.
It's illegal.
You shouldn't weave through traffic.
we are
But you
forced
see, you have to weave here because the guy should be...
Especially weaving on climbing lanes. That one annoys me. The person who's supposed to be on the climbing lane is on the lane.
yeah.
So I have to go on the climbing lane and then I come back.
Educate these people.
How to drive.
Our viewers, how to drive on a climbing. You know that people who actually think climbing lane unafaa kukaa katikati. Go on, mtu akitaka kukupita.
Aende
Kwa your side.
Actually, people believe that. Yeah.
But
What
it's
do you
keep
mean?
left unless overtaking. Like that's the number one traffic rule.
Wanasema hiyo ni ya lorry.
No. It's all
But kama
motorists.
gari yako haiwezi kupanda.
Climbing lanes are put where we know that the speed limit, the speed will drop by 15 to 20 kph of the, like if the highway is designed for 100, if your vehicle will not be able to do 100, it will do 80 and below, go to the climbing lane. That's what that lane is for, either because the gradient is steep or it's just something, a curve or something. So if you're falling behind and kuna mtu anakuashia mataa, that's your cue. Go
In
to
fact,
the
your queue is not mtu anakuashia mataa. Your
Go
queue
to
is
the
your
left.
speed.
Your
Your car.
speed.
If you know you huwezi panda.
and a
Just
left.
move, guys. Like
I was so annoyed in December when we were going to Nyanza, a whole Alto. And then that place has so many, what are they called? HGV vehicles, high goods vehicles. And the guy is not going to the climbing lane.
But his is not high goods. His is...
But he's so slow. Ataki kuingia nyuma ya trailer na wanaenda the same speed. So trailer iko hapa, yeye ako hapa. Mimi nafaa kuenda wapi?
Ngoje.
Ai.
Kenyans are very impatient people.
overtake the other side.
Now I
are
have
very
to
patient
overtake
people.
through. No, just keep
You see,
left
that's not
and
the
less
argument that we
overtaking.
end up having. That Kenyans are impatient. Unakimbia ukienda wapi?
Well, there is that element, but
There's that element, but also there's imposing on the driver's fatigue. The longer you drive, the more tired you become, and you should take breaks. But do Kenyans take breaks?
So you should drive quickly so you don't get tired.
No, you
and get-
take breaks.
do not say that.
Take breaks.
No, we see quickly within the
Even
speed limit.
TZ, I think at night trucks don't travel at night. They are forced to sleep. But Kenya ni tuende as many trips as we can so that we can have more money.
The other thing now, bridges. Why do we have weird bridges like ile ya pale Nithi?
Can you see weird?
It is weird.
What is a weird bridge?
That's what
Let's
I'm-
start there. What do you mean by
Going down quickly and then it takes a corner right on the bridge.
No, you're bridge now. But let me tell you, I'm from
You're not
those
an
sides.
We are both from there.
We're both from-
Actually, the three of us. We're the
And
minority.
I'm going up against you. There's absolutely nothing wrong with Nithi.
There is.
There is from
She has
There's
said.
some issue.
from an engineering perspective, there's an issue because the bridge is set on two steep descents, what she's talking about, and then it's on a horizontal curve.
It's a vertical and horizontal curve.
So if your brakes fail on either descent,
Why your brakes failing?
I told you Kenyans safe vehicles question mark. Or if you're freewheeling, so and you're a heavy goods vehicle where your brakes now hazitaweza, for lack of a better word, hazitashika before upige hiyo kona ya Nithi, centrifugal force will do the thing and throw you out. That's why the accidents there, it's a black spot because of the number of people who die there. Because the drop is around 60 meters. You're not surviving that. There's no way you're surviving that.
They drop from the bridge to the river.
Yeah, but it's being done to the old alignment where it will be a gentler slope and a longer... Because the entire stretch of Nithi Bridge is 3 kilometers. The old alignment, kuna kabarabara kana kwanga hapo kando, sijui ushaikaona. It's like 7 kilometers, which is very... It's a rough road, but it's gentle. So the bridge will be done. I know it has been used to campaign by, I think, all presidents. It's going to be done. But when it's going to be done, it will solve that issue. But also, as of now, the crashes have reduced unless you're just reckless. Because there are warning signs from
Wacha niseme.
And there are also
telling
some
you,
serious...
and there's a bar, the big
barriers.
bumps katikati.
What you guys are, what engineers are basically doing is out engineering stupidity. There's nothing wrong with that bridge. Just go pole pole. you'll be fine.
But road infrastructure, actually the safe systems approach is being is designing roads, taking care of human error. Because humans are not perfect.
Yes.
I mean, if it's redone, I think it should
When it's redone, it will be okay.
So ideally, a lot of the roads.
Which other bridge is weird? You know, you haven't finished talking about your weird bridge.
Another one in Embu, somewhere from Kerugoya Kutus. There is also another one that is just like that one. Along the Kerugoya Kutus as you're heading towards Karatina. Again, it's also the same way.
Oh, it's all down
like
and
this, like now. So ideally, the one thing we can agree on is roads still need a lot of work because I think which ones, like which highways are good in Kenya? Like name one highway which you drive on, not thick.
Southern bypass is good.
Western, I like
The Mteza Bridge going to Diani.
At which highways are good?
One.
Which one highway?
Yeah, that you enjoy driving on, like genuinely. And I see this is up to Nairobi.
Yeah, Marwa.
Yeah, Marwa, also going all the way to Moyale. Nice.
That's actually the only one I enjoy driving. But I'm waiting for the Nakuru one to be done, the private road. I'll enjoy that one.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's see.
Well, those were the engineers. We were here to listen. We have listened. We have public participated in their discussion.
And they're coming back.
And they are coming.
Sijatosheka.
So, tumeni maswali. Send your questions in the comments.
Yeah.
The engineers will come back and tell us those things about horizontal, alignment. As far as I'm concerned, alignment ni ile ya miguu ya gari.
Inafaa kukua hivi.
And if you guys have guests you think we should bring on the channel, please tell us. Yeah. Cheers. It's been Kalasinga, it's been Vanilla, it's been Gakii, it's been June. See you in the next one. Cheers.
Out.